Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And welcome to this very sacred space. Oh my goodness, we are feeling the energies, and it might seem turbulent, but there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel, because the key is to truly follow the joy and to align in love. And that really is a reset. We're here to talk about that, and we're here to talk about living as an awakened human. My guest today, Ambujam Rose, is here with a group power blast as well. Welcome, Ambujam.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Oh my goodness.
How you guys feeling? A little rough, eh?
Turbulent. We'd love to hear from everyone. We're already hearing some things. And I think the important thing is that we are not alone, but this is one of the tests of our spirituality and our motivation of moving forward in this year. So I think it's important not to get discouraged. We have some comments coming in already, and yes, people are feeling it. And it really is staying in alignment. And so I think, from my personal experience, is that everything that's not in alignment for that truest, highest good of all and created for service is actually coming up to be looked at. What is your take on that?
Keyhole elephant can't go through a keyhole. So we're all going through this spot. So everything that's not that has to go. Simply put, I'll go into more detail about that. But the practice through all these changes is just go watch a movie, go hang out. Don't get stuck in it all. And I know it's way easier said than done, but just practice, just letting it go. Don't even give it a second thought. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And the allowingness, which is part about being the awakened human, because what does that even mean, right? Is, I'll just point to the heart, because that's where we can all connect to our awakeness, to our truth is here. Really, it's everywhere, you know? But the truth in us has this natural ability to allow. Like, it just invites everything that's here. It doesn't like push it or heal it or doesn't do anything. It just kind of hangs out with it and is present. And just that alone, everything just like relaxes. So it's a practice of how you just let it be and let all this stuff that's coming out. It's like a facial. Spirit goes, while you're sitting there getting a facial and the facial lady is squirting your stuff out, you don't take it and go, no, you just let them take the tissue, wipe it off, and then poof, right? So why this is hard to do, to just let it go, is because you still believe it's you, right? So fear or not good enough or all these core things, right? As this stuff comes up, the practice is just letting it just be, and it's like you're present with it, and at the same time it's this allowing, and just let it do what it's going to do. That is the simplest, not so easy, but the simplest guidance to just let it go. The other thing I want to just dive into for a minute, which kind of changes our conversation a little bit, not really, because we're still talking about how do you live as an awakened human, you know, but so in 2019,
we were talking about this. And so it would be really interesting, as you lead up into this, for those listening, to type in over our YouTube chat line or our Q&A line on this box. Personally, last night, it was really like, so you said something happened last night. I literally had to go to bed early, like 6 o'clock. Not go to sleep, but like retreat.
Right. I must lay down. Yeah.
It was very interesting. I knew it was like I was irritated. My my husband, and there was no reason for my husband to irritate me, but it was that energy of like needing to just retreat and get out of the energy. You have something to say about that.
I do. So 2019, well, I've been talking about 2020, 2020, 2020, 3D to 5D, right? We've been talking about it for months now. So how I saw that happening was there was a threshold that began about February 3rd, and it was like this long corridor that we all just got kind of moved through. And I would see everybody just kind of floating through, and all this stuff was clearing off. And at some point we were going to pop through on the other side. And this is where this 5D starts. It's on the other side of this threshold. Well, our heads just came through last night. That's huge. So today's like day one of beginning to come out in this energy. And so the one thing I want to say is the best way to know what's going on is to stay super present, because we can, look at things in the future and go, yeah, we can kind of get a sense of this is what it's going to be like, or this is what it is. But nothing really can tell you with words what this is like, because we're all feeling it now, right? And so this kind of like, we're not just our heads out, but we've really begun to come out of this corridor, out of this doorway and into this higher consciousness. There's another shift, looks like this Thursday, where more of our shoulders come out, and then more next week, and then we keep coming out. And Spirit's just calling it the grace that's even doing this, that's pushing us out of like a sausage skin, is this image, sausage coming out. And so this energy that we're in today is the beginning of this higher consciousness. What does that mean? We don't really know until we just keep really staying present and feeling it. And the awakened part is the truth. I'll just keep pointing to the heart, truth of who we are. It's just going to become everything. And all the ego will just keep dropping away and dropping away and dropping away. And we just become, us. And so to give you guys a practice, this is how I do it. When I've got like all my stuff up, let's say, I bring my awareness not to the stuff, but to basically what's behind it. And I notice, because I can see, so that's my gift, right? But I notice this light in me is coming out more. So what I do is I bring my awareness only in the light, and I let this stuff just fall off like this. And I literally like move into it by choice. I move into it consciously, and then I don't pay attention to all this. And then I'm like, okay, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Whew. And then an hour later, whoop, right? Here it comes again. So we literally just moved into what we've been talking about for months. It's amazing. So how does it feel to you guys? Right now, it's like uncomfortable. It's kind of staticky. It's kind of prickly, because we're literally taking these dense bodies and moving it into a higher consciousness. And the physical bodies, especially the last 3 days, have been literally, our cells have been like morphing into this light that we all are. This is massive. This has never really happened before. So that's where we are today. We've begun to come out of the threshold or the doorway or the corridor that we've been going since January 1 all the way through. Really started like last year, right? But now we're here. It's begun. And so what Spirit is suggesting is really practice just going back into your center. Or some people don't go to the heart. They just kind of feel more just kind of a spaciousness or like a nothingness. Like last night when this was happening, I'm like, what's happening? Because it was so uncomfortable, right? And then I saw what was happening. The more I just sat with what was going on, the more when I closed my eyes, and it's still like this today, I don't have a point of reference. I just feel like consciousness and energy. And so it's kind of weird. It's not scary to me because I've been like staring at this space for a long time though. But so all of us have more, like when you close your eyes and you really just get a sense of, well, where am I really? not the stuff that's coming up, because that's just going to move, but where am I in this moment, in this space and time with this shift? And again, this is just the beginning. And so it's really going to ask all of us, because we are at the forefront of this. There's no one to look at ahead going, hey, what'd you do? We are that person. Like all of you listening, we are at that spearhead, the top of the spear, the front lines. And so we're all figuring this out together. So your wisdom, your knowledge, my wisdom, my knowledge, Loren's wisdom, knowledge, we all have pieces of information, right? Of, well, what is this new place, you know? So to practice really just feeling not the stuff, but what do you feel like now? What's your consciousness feel like? Like, again, for me, I go to feel, I close my eyes and there's no one there. It's just like space, kind of aliveness. And because of a lot of linear time of just meditating and being in the awakeness and all that, I know this will take care of everything. I don't have to do anything. I'll figure it out. I'll merge with that. My human life will merge with that. Spirit calls people when they have questions about, well, how do you do this at work with other people? And they go, that's you at work. This is your embodiment at work. Because this idea of is I should be this already everywhere. They're like, nope, it's a spectrum, right? This part of you, totally like freedom and space. This part of you all the way at the other end of the spectrum is identified with, I'm not enough. And what about money and all this, right? We have this whole thing. And this shift is meeting us here, we could say, and is going to make this meet that. So this is quite a massive, holy wowzers time.
Yes. Holy wowzers, hold on to your hats. And really, I love that, staying present and going within. All right, let's take this question because it's relevant, I think, to a lot of us, a lot of reports that I've gotten from people. You know, at the beginning of this year, everyone's like, yay, 2020, really empowered. But yet it's not all roses and ice cream, is it? Or peaches and roses, or peaches and cream, because here's Stephanie. Stephanie is sharing a comment that is really out there amongst, I'm not going to say just light workers, but I think on the whole. She says, I started this year feeling excited and connected, but it's all changed for me. I lost my job suddenly and things are so chaotic. I'm battling feelings of depression, wanting to give up. I'm trying to go into my heart, but I can't feel the energies the way I did before. I'm all over the place, crying a lot, and feel like I'm going crazy. Is this normal? What can I do to feel connected again? Nothing seems to be working. Okay, Stephanie. Ambujam, my goodness, see, that's it.
So every single person, let's use the spectrum thing. So here's the human part of density, and here's the light of who you are, right? We're all going to this, okay? Every single person will have a very unique experience of how this happens. So with you losing the job and all of that, to me, it looks like life is just peeling off very quickly. And it's complicated, it's a little layered, but life is really forcing the issue of what is it that's really in your heart? What do you really, 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 really want? And I really appreciate what you said about, I can't tune in like I did before. Okay. That is such a huge teaching statement, because there's so much change. How we tune into our heart is different than it was even a week ago. For some people, kind of stays the same for a while. For others, it's this constant shift. So the truth is still in there about what's happening with your life and how to navigate it. What I would ask you to do is really sit and breathe, knowing everything's okay. There's nothing wrong. I know it seems that way, right? There's nothing wrong. Life obviously has a plan for you, and it's bringing you out of what is not for you, okay? But to connect now, I would sit, just allow your feelings to be exactly as they are. Don't fix them. Don't heal them. Don't do anything. Just give them a minute. Just give everything just a minute. And then when you feel ready, just come gently in again and then ask, okay, how do I feel my truth today, right now, right now? And then just wait and let your truth meet you and take you in. And it's saying to you, like I hear your truth saying to you, don't worry. This is a little rough patch. You're kind of being taken over the rocks right now, but you're going somewhere really specific. So there's this trust thing that's coming up also, which everybody deals with. But for you specifically, it's this whole deeper trust of how do you feel like you're in the boat and letting, like, because life's like this, life's pulling your boat, if I could give that analogy, and you're watching everything going by going, what the hell did I do wrong? Oh, nothing. But it's just super intense because it just has to be that way. It has to leave. So Spirit's saying, just ask the question, how do I tune in now, today, right now, not tomorrow and not yesterday, but right now? And then give it some time, because knowing what the truth is inside, depending on what's up for us, can take days, an hour, a minute, depending on how attached we are and how scared we are. So just give some patience, and the truth is there. It's just kind of, going back into what it is now and how you connect with that. But yeah, everyone's who's experiencing the rough, intense stuff, and they feel like they're lost and they feel like they don't know what's going on and they've done something wrong, taken a wrong turn. No, if you've had stuff on you that does not belong, it has to go. Elephant cannot fit through the keyhole. It has to go. So as deep as everybody's been doing their work, everyone still has a bottom. So I'm not conscious of every single thing that needs to go and not make it through that keyhole, but life will show me, So we can be as conscious as we can be, but this feeling of this question of, did I do something wrong, or what's wrong with the energy, or, I was excited and then there's this big kerplunk. That's the depth of stuff that's leaving you, that does not belong and is no longer aligned with what life has planned for you. And I have to say it that way because all the groups I've done and all the private sessions I've done, souls have been waiting lifetimes for this. And you guys are waiting to activate. And I can't tell you how many sessions I've done, whether it's a group or private, that there's this plan out there that your soul has been waiting for. And the mind, a lot of times, does not know what that is. You get glimpses, you feel it, you have a sense. But I'm telling you, something's there. And I've always seen, like, after March, when this kind of threshold thing happens and we're more out, March, April, May, June, things are going to start feeling a bit smoother. We're going to start going, okay, I kind of feel like me again, but not me. But we're in the rough part now because we've got to get through this keyhole. The elephant's got to either squeeze itself so small to fit through, or it's got to go, you know what, zip, I'm unzipping my elephant suit. And really I'm this, really this light that can just go right through. So the only thing that can get through the keyhole is your light. Everything else, and only life knows what that is for you, that can't make it, it's got to go. So know you're okay. Seriously.
Yes. We're getting words that already people are feeling better from that, just knowing that this is going on and really what the guidance is on that.
And you're not alone, you guys. So many people are experiencing this.
It's
more than
actually, not. Yeah, it's energies of betrayal. There's a lot of people are feeling that. Someone else reported just in the past 24 hours, the anger from other people as we deal in relationships. I find that very interesting too. So how would you say, even we navigate, I mean, this is almost where we say, I'm glad I could help you clear that, or thank you for helping me clear that, right? Because we can't take all this baggage with us, like you said, to that light who we are. So isn't that interesting that, yeah, I mean, the world seems angry. And so as way showers, how would you suggest then the Ho'oponopono works really well. We've been talking about that, we know we've got the tools, right?
Yep. Yeah. Now that's exactly my thing. The awakened human. Now it's time to be this tool. Right. And it's a slow kind of not so slow progress, but yes. And this is a hard truth, but I see it constantly in others and in myself. So, okay, so I'll start with this example. So I'm working with somebody in a session and they're upset about their spouse did X, Y, and Z. And they are super upset, okay? Underneath, so let's say here are the two people, and here's the spouse, and here's my client is pissed. Underneath, she has the same exact issue he has. That's why she's so angry, but it shows up totally differently. But underneath, I'm you, you're me. If you're in front of me, you're my reflection, period. And if I'm in front of you, I'm yours, period. It cannot be any other way. It just cannot. So everything that makes you so angry and upset and hurt is actually in here. And it may not be exactly what you see somebody doing, but it's in here. So how I would address that is if somebody's making me really mad, because I've been practicing this for a while, I'll just kind of automatically know, well, this is something that's being triggered in me. Yes, they might have done something that was a jerky move, right? That's on them. But how it makes me feel, however, that's mine. That's all mine. They didn't tie me down and go, be angry, right? They didn't tie me down and make me feel this feeling. It's mine. And that's hard. That's the hard truth. This is mine. But the good news is if it's mine, that means I can do something about it. If it's yours, ooh, that makes it even worse because how am I supposed to help myself, right? So when two people are in front of each other, they're a mirror and they're actually triggering this deeper, and this is this awakened human thing. How you be an awakened human is you take 100% responsibility for your own feelings. That's it. 100%. 100%. And that's the hard truth. It's all you. It is all you. 100%. Okay. That's the hard part. But then that means, okay, for me, I always envision myself wrapping my arms around my feeling. And I'm like, I'm not letting you out. Nope, 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 nope. You're all mine. You're all mine. I'm not projecting you on my husband or whoever. I just go, nope, 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 nope. And then I start to feel like, oh, something starts to happen when I start to embrace it. It's like, it starts to show its true colors to me, or it starts to, I start to feel something going on. So if somebody's making you mad, that's your feeling. Again, what they can be doing is a jerk move, but that's on them, right? They still have to take responsibility for them too. But how you heal the relationship is all here. Doesn't mean you have to stay in a relationship, however, where the person is doing the jerk move. That's a whole other conversation. But you can be with what's triggering in here. 100% responsible. 100%.
And so if other people are angry at you, like Anna is saying, and I had this experience too, something happened and someone else was so angry, and that was interesting. And that's not our stuff either, right? I mean, I bet the best that we can do is be supportive and help calm down someone and use the Ho'opono. I'm sorry, forgive me. And that's not making us a victim, is it? It really is disarming the situation.
Yeah, that's what's so weird, because at first it's really hard to hear that all my feelings are mine, because then I can't blame you at all. But the second very empowering thing is all my feelings are mine. I can't blame you at all. Cool. Right? It's all, and we can take responsibility for where we messed up. That's all we can do, truly and deeply with ourselves. And the thing about the shift that we're going through is just the amount of karma of stuff we've done in the past has to be reconciled. It's painful. It's challenging. Some of the stuff I've done in the past out of my rage of betrayal, I'm just like, oh God, I have to like white knuckle the images of what I've done. But once I get through the white knuckling part, and I can start to have compassion for my just rage, and no one heard me and no one saw me, and whatever it was, it's like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's like life knows what you're doing. Life knows you're trying to meet your past choices with, the most love that you can muster, and it wants to help you. So this, this other shift we're going through, the anger that's coming out, the stuff in relationship, everyone's dealing with their stuff, and it's intense. Even people who don't seem to be dealing with their stuff, their inners are dealing with their stuff, right? They just have, they may not be talking about it like we can talk about it, right? So everyone is going through it. But what Spirit's talking about is what's left in these relationships is things that are, they're not, it's interesting because they're talking about, you guys that I'm talking to right now. And so they're saying that there are things in the relationships with the people that you have that are the most raw right now, is because they haven't been earnestly looked at yet. And so there's a lot that's buoyant right now in the surface. It can't, like a ball, you hold ball down and try to hold a ball in water, and you move your hand for 1 second, it comes right back up. So really, truly, life loves you so much, and it wants you to be so free. It is really bringing up these, kind of looks like little dots of energy to me, that they're not been worked out yet. They've not been met yet. So Spirit's asking you to ask yourself, how can I meet these for at least myself, so I can take responsibility for my side? Because this is, again, awakened human. It's hard because we just cannot live in this other way anymore, that we're just able to blame. And, and I know we all know this, but now it's living it. How do I then approach this within myself first, and pray? Spirit's like, don't forget to ask for help. You got your angels, you got your teams, you've got all kinds of help up here. Whether you notice it or not, whether you feel it or not, everyone's here. So they're saying, ask us for help. Yeah.
We're going to do a group power blast with you, but first, let's have you explain for those who need a refresher or just a reminder of really how you ask to connect with your own team, and not even just our own team, but the masters that we can work with. How would you suggest we do that?
Oh, it's a good question, Loren. Okay. It's so interesting when questions are asked about how to do something. Spirit always brings up the most fundamental answer first. Do you want to? All the way through. Because here's what happens when you ask for something. I want to, and this part goes, Okay, we're not conscious of this, right? It goes, no. And I'm like, but I want to. Why aren't I hearing? And it's like, So before you go to actually do anything, be proactive, because it's going to happen anyway. And actually ask yourself, do I 100% all the way through want to connect to my guides right now? And if you feel a part that contracts or goes, nope, you can just go, what's going on there, little dude? Again, no judgment. And I know that's easier said than done, right? But these parts come up anyway. So whenever I work with people and they're trying to connect, there's always a part that doesn't want to. Or it's timing. Their thing is just about ready to shift in just a minute. But that's the very first thing that Spirit's asking you. When you go to ask for help and to hear or feel or sense and connect, they go, question number 1, do I really want to? Okay. And then you just sit and just see what's there. And even if it's something's just a little bit of a contraction, maybe it just needs just a minute of presence with that. Or maybe you feel like, nah, I'm still cool. I know what this part is, or something like that, right? The other thing that Spirit's bringing up, I don't really understand this exactly, but I don't really understand how to phrase this. They want you to ask, because again, I'm talking to very specific people here. They want you to ask, and I just have to get this out. Once I say it, I'll know where I'm going with this. Do I have any agreements or contracts to stay away from my guides or to say no? or for them to stay away from me? Okay. Ask that question and see what comes up. Do I have any past choices that may not want to? Which is basically that same question of, do I really want to, right? And then there's going to be a lot more space. And just be open to how it feels. Maybe you feel it, maybe you hear it, maybe you see it. For me, it's all the above. Everyone's different. You know, I just want to tell this quick little story. So like 20 years ago, when I was first starting my practice, I had this woman come and I'm like, so what do you want to do today? And she's like, I want to hear my guides. And I go, okay. And then Spirit shows me this image of her getting up every morning, standing in her yard, going, hello. And then she hears, hey, what's up? And she's like, shh, I'm trying to hear my guides, be quiet. Hello. And then she hears, hey, what's up? She's like, shh, quiet, I'm trying to hear my guides. So I go, is this happening every morning? She goes, yeah. I go, well, that's them. They're saying to you, what's up? And your idea is they should sound really different. So you're not, you know, she had this idea they'd be some sort of flowy, whatever, right? So really trust what your inners are feeling when you ask for connection, you ask for help, you ask for guidance. What does it feel like in there when you ask? What actually happens? Not what you think should or did, but what is it now? Yeah, be more open to how it can come through other than what we think, right?
Yes. You know, would you say then that sometimes people really need to hear their higher self? That's why the guides step back, as we really have to learn
Yep.
to hear the voice of the higher self. I work with people as well, connecting with the higher self. And oftentimes people are just not aware that that's been the person talking to them the whole time. So I love it. It really is about
Totally.
the feeling. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go on an experience right here, Ambujam, because you do group power blasts and we're really going to shed this skin. It is the word, the theme of this year has been reset, reset, reset. So let's do a group healing blast for this.
So what these blasts are, they're actually pretty new. So I used to do 90-minute sessions, group power healings, I call them, and I still do. But when these shifts started coming, Spirit all of a sudden brought me 30-minute sessions. And I was like, okay. And so, you know, how I live my life and my work, I don't choose anything. I don't create anything. It comes to me or I feel to do it. I never just choose. I'm never like, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that. Like never, ever, ever. I just can't do that. So one day Spirit brings me this 30-minute session and it's super specific because group power blasts are 30 minutes, but today we'll do, you know, we won't do 30 minutes. We'll do quicker than that. But so what they're for is to work with these shifts to help you clear as quick as you can and integrate the new energies as quickly as possible and embody who you are as quickly as possible. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. We go in, we clear, and we deepen you and anchor you. Okay, that's like the gist of it. But what they always look like whenever Spirit brings me these group power blasts to do is I always see these image of you, like let's just say standing here, and there's all, like you're going this way. This is a new place. Okay, this is the today, present moment. Behind you is all this old stuff. Spirit wants to help move it all really, really fast. So it's so much easier for you to just be this, like just be that. And so this release would happen anyway, but it happens over time and it happens weeks or months. Spirit, my work's able to just accelerate this. Now, why can we accelerate it? Because here's what's really going on. This old stuff is emotions and choices and ego identity and soul history, okay? When I watch, let's say, Spirit go in to move it out, what's actually happening is these parts of your consciousness are realizing, because this is what creates healing. Healing is created from a realization and then something falls off, okay? How you realize what this is to make it release, Spirit's able to partner with that realization and accelerate your ability to realize. And so what's really happening when these group power blasts are going on is your realizations of where your stuff has come from, why it's there and why you chose these things happens in 2 seconds. It's not here though. It's inside of you in the truth of who you are. That quick realization is able to spirit to swoop in and move it out really fast. So it's this big collaborative thing that we're all able to do together and really accelerate what you would normally do, but it would just take longer. And we can do it in seconds because you're ready. And so, in those of you who feel drawn to come to these group power blasts, it's because you're ready. You feel the yes, you feel, it resonates. So today, what we're going to do is, the other part of this is the group always brings which layers that we're going to move really fast and what parts of you are ready to activate and what parts of you are you really ready to more embody. Okay. The group always brings those details. Spirit might have a topic, but you guys is what brings these layers. So today I'm going to tune into all of you guys. We're going to do and really just embody. And during all that, Spirit has all kinds of guidance and information and all that kind of stuff. So are you ready to do that?
Oh my gosh, we are so ready. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Good riddance.
So how much time do we have for this part, Loren?
Oh, we're good. We've got about another 25 minutes to our show. Okie
dokie. Okay, so as it looks right now, we'll probably spend about 10 minutes on this. Yeah. So I'm tuning into all you guys now. We're going to create our group collaboration here, even though we've always been already been kind of in it, right? Just by being on the show together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this fear that's being triggered by this thresholds, coming out yesterday. Okay, it's just triggering a tremendous amount of terror. So the first thing we're going to do is help with fear, help that calm and soothe and release these other layers that this threshold movement is bringing up to clear. So we're going to go do those things first, and I'll just let you know what I'm seeing as that is happening. And the ego in you sees that fear as a very known quantity. So it goes, well, shouldn't I keep fear? It's like, no, don't have to. Good. So I'm watching all of you start to go forward now. Okay, Spirit's like working with you as a group. Everybody's going forward. And you're even like crawling out of the threshold even more, which is interesting. So there's a lot of stuff with family, relationships, okay, that's being carried in your energy. And so we're working with those and working with those souls to help everyone reconcile as lovingly as possible. So one of the themes I'm seeing with all of you guys is self-empowerment, which is a lot of the reasons why this intense relationship stuff can be up right now, because you're really being asked to own your sovereignty and claim yourself. And unconsciously, it's triggering fear of, well, how do I do that in this relationship, in that relationship? And what if I lose this person? What if this person has a hard time with that? And what if? It's all happening in there somewhere, okay? And Spirit is saying you have to trust this next level of empowerment because it's what you're called to do. Let truth and grace take care of the rest. And I know, again, easier said than done, okay? But because it's your call to be in your sovereignty even deeper than before, you must trust that, and that everything will fall into place the way that it needs to for all concerned. So we're going to help you come into your sovereignty now in the way that you're called to, okay? Yep. Go in there. It's the safest place to be for real. Yep. Okay, now this is where Spirit's starting to clear those layers I'm talking about that you just don't need anymore, okay? So we're doing two things. We're helping to bring you into your sovereignty, into your wholeness, anchor you there, and clearing the old stuff that's been afraid to, okay? Spirit's saying you are your North Star. You're your North. It's you. Like Loren was saying, sometimes it's the higher self that we need to connect to, not so much our guides, right? It's us. So You are your north. It's you. So I'm working with your relationships now because they're kind of freaked out too. Because they're like, what's going on? Not just in this session right now, but nobody knows what's going on, right? All of a sudden there's this change. And the mind doesn't know why, right? Spirit knows, your spirit knows. So I'm working with your relationships, these souls that are just freaked out a little bit, letting them know it's rightful for this change. They're being asked to be in their sovereignty now. And for you as well. Yep. So what we're doing is we're clearing these really old dynamics with these relationships of how you guys would connect through codependency and need. Yeah. So that's what it is then. So underneath all of this, a lot of what's coming up is you guys can't connect through need anymore. And so people are freaking out because the mind doesn't know that's what's going on. It's trying to stay connected through what's going away, and it can't do it. So we're really just continuing to work with this theme of sovereignty and helping you anchor into yourself and helping these relationships anchor into themselves. And I can also feel this ripple from this group going out into the world to help whatever souls are ready also for their sovereignty. So abundance, AKA money, comes from your sovereignty, okay? Of your human being aligned with that. And Spirit's like, you're gonna have to trust yourself. You're gonna have to trust your alignment and your sovereignty that will take you where you need to be and do. Okay, so we're gonna help this whole sovereignty connection with money and health, because it's both, okay? Okay, so now we're going to do some integration because you guys are more in yourselves now. And what integration looks like to me is Spirit just keeps running your own energy throughout your system to bring it into alignment with who and what you are. Spirit says you can't think who and what you are, you know who and what you are. Don't think it. Don't figure it out mentally. Feel it. Trust the feeling. And this is this awakened human thing. Trusting the feeling of yourself over your mind. That's a biggie, but it's time now, okay? So Spirit's going to cut a cord now from you to the old world, okay? Like before threshold came, okay? You ready? Yep. So Spirit's moving you all forward now. So I'm staying behind. So the group is moving forward. I'm staying behind to complete and do ceremony with the old world that you're less connected with now. And so wherever you guys are, if you can physically do this, put your left hand, your palm over your heart center. If you can't physically do that, just envision that. And just be for a minute. And they're saying the world better than you could even imagine is on its way. You must trust the falling away to get you there. Keep going. You're right here. Okay. So we're going to be doing some more integration in the background, but I felt like that's what we needed to do for that.
Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. The world that is beyond our imagination is waiting for us. Boy, we are really feeling New Earth, and we always hold our vision of it. Thank you for that. Thank you. I hope everyone is feeling the empowerment of that and feeling that certainty of embodiment and the sovereignty of embodiment. It really is the key. This is what we're all here for. So thank you for
Mhm.
helping us accelerate on our path towards embodiment. Thank you. All right, let's go to some questions. We have some coming in. And this will be from Leanne. So, Leanne, hopefully you're in Australia, and I hope that you felt some um, release from this experience of the process that we just went through. And Leanne says, I've been attending all of your available group power healings for the last 2 months, and I'm having a much easier time of it emotionally. Lots of physical issues have lessened or gone. However, at the moment, everything above the neck has been a problem for the last 2 days.
I was going to say 2 or 3 days. Yep.
What's going on? You have any insight?
Yeah, there's been something, I'll look at Leanne specifically, but yeah, there's been something happening up here these last 2 or 3 days as we've been getting ready to like come out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Leanne specifically, so let's just say your energy is wanting to expand into your natural size, natural state, natural beingness. And so it's like I feel it in my head, my ears, my teeth, like it hurt. It's like there's a clamp down and you're not doing it consciously. Like something's, it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of just freaking out a little bit. So I would bring my awareness up here and allow everything to just soften. Like, let it know it can just like, and allow your light, your energy, your beingness to just expand the way it's meant to, because it really wants to. So it's just kind of meeting all that kind of maybe one piece at a time, and just kind of letting it like just open and soften. And then when that energy, your being energy starts getting more up there, then you can like allow that to do some healing and release for it. But yeah, start with just bring your awareness to one tightness at a time and just know that it can just soften and that the energy wants to just expand. And it's a big deal for you for it to expand up here for some reason. Like you're just on your way in a really big way. So this is a whole other level of beingness that wants to come out. So it's really powerful for you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we hope that helps. All right, Mary Ann in Vancouver, BC. I choose to achieve my soul's destiny 100% and embody my divine essence. Can you help me to be honest to myself and see clearly and understand what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling so I stop hiding my true essence?
I feel like there's a better question she's not asking. So I'm just going to see what. Okay. So it's basically the same question that you asked, but it's a bit, just a little different. Kind of the same thing though. So I would ask the question, where am I still afraid? And the word is afraid. It's not scared. It's not fearful for whatever reason. It's afraid. Where am I still afraid to allow my big energy to be present? That's all. Because you're already on it. We're just tweaking it a little bit. Like you're already doing everything. So we're just pointing you in another direction of, okay, there's a space that's still afraid. And it's deep because this whole thing that you're doing, it's really interesting when you listen to what people say, the phrases they choose and the words that they use. I choose to be, and I forget exactly what you said, my highest, high, basically is what you said, right? Because she's supposed to in a massive way. And so all this past life stuff is like these layers that have to be addressed and go. Not all of them have to be addressed consciously, but her statement is exactly online with what I'm seeing. It's just another level of where am I afraid to really be that highest high. And then just stay with that and see what the layers of that. But otherwise, you've got this, like, it's fine. It's just layers. That's all.
I think that's really good for all of us to actually go in and question, yeah, where are we still frightened or scared to do that? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Beautiful. Let's see. One more question. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Here, there's so much going through. Dashka, she says, I feel as though the storm of shifting into 2020 has passed with a vengeance and rage. It was difficult, and I think it was done in order to clear and clean my path. I am curious what is to come and why my path had to be reset. Okay, so you can refresh us there, but I think this is all of us having this experience.
It's the same. It's this, I mean, to go into the exact whys is really specific, and that would take some time. It's not like a 2-second answer on this one. But you already have the answer. This had to be cleared. Like, it had to be. This anger that you're talking about, it had to come up because it was just underneath the surface anyway. And, you did a really good job, we'll say, of being the loving you that you are, right? With this underneath, right? And again, life is brilliant. It knows exactly where we're hiding, avoiding, denying, pretending. And it's actually loving. Again, it loves us so much. It wants these things to come out. And so for each person, how it comes out, how that splinter comes out is different for each person, right? But everything that you've experienced in 2020, 90% of that was to get this anger out and have you become aware of it, which you did. So your question today is the answer. You already know. And then the other thing about what is to come, you're basically like all of us, you're in the need to know basis. We can't, with the energies as they are now going, let's say if we compare it to 15 years ago, we could all kind of get a sense of our future a lot more. We'd be able to look ahead a little bit, have a more sense of where we're going. Now, nope. A lot of it's quiet. A lot of it is silent, because how the true self works, it does not need to know. It is that. So who and what we really are is 100% life itself. And it unfolds out of itself like a flower that's constantly moving. And there's no, what about me? What do I need to do? It doesn't do that. That's our little selves or the ego self. It goes, what about me? And what am I going to do? The truth of who we are, again, is one with life itself. And it constantly is in the moment, unfolding and getting the information it needs to then do what's next. There is no fear or worry there. So even though we don't consciously feel that awake like that, right? We actually are. This stuff's going to go. Okay, this whole spectrum thing. So because truly we are these awakened human beings, what that means is our lives are being lived from a truly awakened place, which means this is already happening all day long and all the time. And we don't need to know because we already are in that awakened place. It's this part, let's say the mind, right? And the emotions that are like, what do I do? How do I, what do I, when do I? And it's like present. And people think I don't hear anything or feel anything. Silence is a huge part of this path. There's just nothing to do. Why? Because you're already doing it. The mind, however, is like, I should have more money, more friends, more this, more that. It's like, well, should you? Really? You sure? You 100% certain? We Byron Katie that thing. I know you guys heard of Byron Katie, right? She has those 4 questions. One is, are you certain that what you think should be happening, right? So when you really ask yourself, do I actually need to know more than I know right now? You know, questions about these things are really important to really check, you know. So I have to use this example. So years ago, my husband and I got to sell the house that we were living in, and we stayed with family. And we all thought, family invited us, hey, come stay with us. And we all felt like it was going to be 2 months. So we're like, cool. A year and a freaking half later, we are still there. And my husband and I would tune in. Nothing. I was freaked out. I'm on the wrong path. I'm in the wrong relationship. Nothing's working. I'm not working. I'm not eating this. I'm not eating that. And then I tune into my heart. Should I actually be working right now? Should I be moving out of my family's house right now? And it was learning how to trust that over what I think should be happening. That was a huge lesson. Huge. But that's where really we all are now. Because when you work with a healer and you have these questions, the healer doesn't know you more than you know yourself, right? We can look at you differently because we're not attached to your answers. We're not you, sort of, right? So ask within your heart, when things aren't happening the way that you think they should, just ask, should they be different? Yes or no? Then trust your answer. 100%, all chips are in. I'm 1,000% trusting. And then you hold on. Because I'm telling you, this thing knows. Really, really, really. So, Dashka, your question is your answer. I had this anger. It had to come out. It had to clear my path. What's next? Not sure yet. I know something's coming then, right? That's the answer. So that was a long, answer, but it's really important.
And so talk a little bit about, and we're going to almost wrap up our show here, but I think it's really important to not let the ego mind come in and then second guess what we just heard in the heart, because that can happen.
Right.
Too. So talk about that, because, it's like the first thing right away that comes to us, right? It's not like, because then in my own experience, it's like the mind can come in and say, well, no, right? So it's that first instinct, that first thing we hear.
Yep. So how I do it, because I have that too, but because that year and a half living with my family really like freaking nailed that part home.
Because that's not so easy either with relationships and having to be home for dinner and you're like 12
it's the
years
hardest
old
part.
Again and you're married.
Yeah. And it turns out that whole year and a half, my heart was right the whole time. Because now it's 3 years later and I'm like, it totally knew. So here's what I do. So I hear the truth or feel the truth in my heart. And then my mind will go, nah, or I'll feel that weird doubt feeling that just makes you feel bad. Like it depletes your energy, right? I deeply choose to just stay focused here. And I'm like, and then I ask myself, are all my chips in? 99%? Not good enough. I have to be all in. All in. Yep. It's just this thing, this doubt, as we get more and more on the spectrum, let's say, it does start to happen less. It does start to go away because our truth just gets bigger. Because the ego doesn't go away. What happens is we get bigger. It's still there, but we have a totally different relationship with this thing, right? As our light is like this, the ego comes in, we believe it, right? Because we have more stuff, right? But the brighter we get, the more this thing, we just don't believe it anymore. So now when my doubt comes, and linear time, this has been proven over and over and over and over and over. I know what these energies are now. It makes me feel yucky. And this whole 2020 thing, or really like 2019, because self-doubt for me is one of my deepest issues, which is hilarious, right? Because what do I teach people all day long? Trust yourself, right? But my own self-doubt and not believing in my heart has been my deepest issue. So 2019, something all of a sudden shifted when I was like, why do I want to feel like crap? This doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel good. Why don't I want to feel peaceful? Just stay here. And that was a huge choice I made. Like when Spirit asks, do you really want to? Well, how we act every day is what we really want to do, or else we wouldn't be doing it. So I would say I trust myself, but here I am allowing myself to feel crappy of how this weird doubt stuff makes me feel, right? Something just happened where I was like, I'm done. I'd rather feel peaceful. And that was life-changing for me. Like another layer, right? Boonk. Another layer, another layer, another layer. But it was that like energy that I kept creating of like staying here and staying here and staying here, no matter what this would say, because this thing feels really real. And I just chose, I'm not going there. I can't, I don't want to feel crappy anymore, you know? And the other thing that's been said a million different ways is the truth will never make you feel crappy. It just doesn't. It instantly expands you and empowers you. It just does. Even if you hear something you don't want to hear, because it's truth, it has this empowering effect, like just instantly, even if you have to do something scary, right? This doubt stuff, and half of it isn't even just ego. It's all kinds of crap out there that's, attaches itself to us. So we do not listen to this. So there has to be something in us that really wants to choose which one are you going to stay with, here or here, because that's the empowerment of choice. Because every day we choose, well, today I'm going here. I want to feel my truth. And it's like, well, I'm not. It's like, you really want to know where you're at? Look at your actions. And it's hard because it's like, well, I don't want this to happen anymore. It's like, well, yes, you do, because you're still doing it. Right. So I wanted to stay here. That was the thing. And over time, the wanting to got more and more and more. This thing still happens. But because I have practice now enough, I'm like, whatever. I don't trust you anymore.
That's great. That's really the shift. You said it there in a nutshell. And why is it that we put, you said believe in your heart, trust in your heart. And it's the grace and truth of the heart. And so isn't it funny that we put so much on the doubt and the worry? And that's really the shift. So thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ambujam Rose, you have a beautiful group setting sessions I'm going to put on the screen here so people can see the link. I want to say that we have coming up in just a few minutes, we have an after party with Ambujam Rose. Now, this is on our Zoom link. You're going to join us on Zoom. This is for New Earth Creator members, or you can purchase a single event to get in and talk with Ambujam today. We're in an after party for about 45 minutes on our Zoom after this episode. And if you want to work with Ambujam, then check out her special offer. It is up here on the screen, and it includes a ticket to our after party. And again, our after party is where you can ask, you can share, and you can laugh with us. So Ambujam, in your special offer, there are these group power blasts that we've heard that are so helpful to people. So explain to us these different options, please.
So I actually want to start with B, package B. Okay. So when I was getting ready to start to do this show, I asked Spirit, what do you guys want to offer as a package? Because I never know. And they created a Group Power 3 series, which is 3 group power blasts. 2 of them are 30 minutes, and then the last one's an hour. Okay. And it's all focused on everything that we're talking about to help you embody who you are. And when we meet as a 3 series, that group is like solidly in. It's kind of like locks in, and we don't invite anyone after that date. Once we start, we're all in together, and there's this group supportive healing field that gets created. So what happens in that series is we meet for the first 2 times of 30 minutes. There's no Q&A. And what Spirit's going to do is look at where you are to help, again, clear this old stuff very, very fast, to really bring that true self out and embody you. That is the gist of it. And why they want to offer this now is because, and they know too, because I said, should we do this in March? And they're like, nope, April. And I'm like, yeah, but March is better for me. And they're like, no, April is the month for this 3 series. And so whatever's going to be going on in April, Spirit already knows. But this 2020 out of this threshold thing, we're going to need to embody ourselves that much, more and faster. So this whole series is to support you guys to clear as much as we can, as quickly as we can, and really bring your spiritual heart, your spiritual energy, your true self forward, really anchor you in. And so that whole series is really based to do that for you. So your path can be easier. All this stuff that's clearing can happen that much faster. And again, you guys are going to bring the specific details of what those layers are. So that's I'm just looking at the package right now. Yep. And then that one also includes, which includes in package A, which I'll get into in a second. That one also includes a pre-recorded group power blast, which is empower, strengthen, and accelerate release for the 2020 thresholds. And then that package B also includes a 2-hour group power healing. It just happened to be 2 hours. It was a long, deep one, to remove blocks to receiving. So how the recordings work is Spirit imbues the recordings with the energies that we work with. But the magic of them, and I don't know how this works, but when you listen to the recorded live sessions that are included in both packages, treat it as if it is a live session happening right now. And Spirit will meet you exactly where you are every time you listen, to help clear the blocks to receiving for you, and to help that group power blast to empower and work with that 2020 threshold. So I don't know how they do that, but it's like listening to a live session, and it can just go deeper and deeper and deeper every single time. So that's that package B, again, which includes the 3 series. And then package A includes 2 live group power blasts, which are 30 minutes. And that pre-recorded group power blast to empower, strengthen, and accelerate release for the 2020 energies. And how that package A works is, once you purchase that, you'll get a link from Loren that will then have you sign up for my form. And then you'll receive all my emails for all the group power blasts. And you just tell me which one you want to join, and you can use your package for that. So that's that. And then all the info is, on the page. I just wanted to give a brief summary.
Yes, beautiful. All right. So these are beautiful sessions with Ambujam. Again, we have a quick link. It's bit.ly/Ambujam special. Again, you can join us in our after party, which is going to start on Zoom right after we end our session today. If you are on Gmail, check your Gmail promotions folder for the tickets, as that's where it usually ends up. And so thank you, everyone. Check out the special offer from Ambujam and join us in our after party. That's really where you just get to ask your personal question, or get your a special healing or advice, and just share with us, like-hearted individuals. Thank you for that. Okay, Ambujam, I just love your energy, and I love your reminders of really this alignment and embodiment. Thank you. We're feeling refreshed and actually understanding why we've been kind of bobbling in this energy. So thank you for that. And everyone, here is Ambujam with a final reminder of how we move in these energies. Thank you.
Trust yourself. Number 1. Okay. No one knows you better than you know yourself, 100%. Take the time. This is the other thing. It's like going to the gym now. You have to go to your spiritual gym class and you have to sit with yourself every day until it becomes normal and natural that you can go within, check out your inner landscape of how these outward energies are affecting your what's coming forth in you and what's wanting to release. Because then once you're consciously connected, doesn't mean you fully understand it all the time, right? But when you're consciously connected to what's happening of how these outward shifts are moving stuff in here, then you can know how to work with it. You know, right? But you have to take that time to check in every day. I say spend at least 15 minutes a day, whether you do it before breakfast, whether you do it before bed. Literally carve out 15 minutes, put your timer on. I don't know why 15 minutes, but that's what it is. And spend time just checking out what's going on in here and just feel and ask, how do I navigate this shift today? Because you know. So this whole shift that we're going through is really asking you to know thyself. It's always been the case. We always have to know thyself, heal thyself. It's always the case, but now, game on.
Game on.
Right? We just can't do it without that.
Yes.
So 15 minutes a day, that's my little script pad.
Yes.
Tune in. And then you won't need the 15. Then you're just up, I'm in. What's happening? Up. So like for me personally, morning time is my time. I get up, I have my tea, I sit for a good hour before I start my day with sessions. And that's just what I do. And I feel my heart. I have a bunch of questions. I go, okay, here's what I want to know. And then I leave it alone and I just breathe in my heart. And I just breathe in and out. And I focus like as my heart. And then miraculous things happen. Or it's just silent. But it's not because I'm controlling it. It's because I'm trusting deeply that my insides know what they're doing. And I just kind of partner and wait. So that's how I do it every day. But yeah, it has to be an every day. Know thyself.
Know thyself. Thank you. That is alignment. So thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Loren, for having me.
My pleasure. So fun on the video episode here too. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you too for joining us. We hope that your heart is open, and we thank you for shining your magnificent light. It's a bright light, and the world thanks you too. So thank you, Ambujam Rose. Your special offer is available. Thank you. Again, we're going to be going into our Zoom room, and we invite you all to join us there. The link for Ambujam's special is up on this page. So as we say goodbye, we are going to dance our way to the cosmic heart. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.